Wow. Why are you starting with Sandstorm?
Welcome to another episode of the Blerd Talk Podcast by the Blerd Initiative. Y'all like that? And like I did that. So today's topic is going to be the stigma of Black men and their emotions. I feel like maybe it comes from maybe parents, or you could say it's about all males across any race, but I think with Black fathers, they treat their sons as if they are not supposed to show emotions because it is shown as them being weak or being vulnerable. And you, as a Black man, you can't show none of that in today's society, right? So, Kenny, I'm gonna start with you first. I'm gonna pick on you first because it's been a while. You look surprised.
He looks super surprised. He looks shook.
I was reading something, but all right.
So, what's your take on that?
Man in emotions, Black man, and Black men specifically in emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not very much. My dad never told me that, those whole, hey, don't show your emotions and stuff like that and anything like that. I kind of just grew up that way, I guess in the environment I was in, I just grew up that way. So like, I'm very like stonewalled when it comes to certain things, like certain subjects, like when people talk about like situations that happen here with people that like got like evicted out of their houses and stuff like that and everything back when. And I was having a conversation with a person on that, and I literally was just like, okay, I mean,
but you're pretty dry. I think we're all pretty dry anyway.
Oh, yeah, but but like when it comes to emotions, Black men, yeah, we hide our emotions more than we show our emotions. Like showing our emotions like to a certain other men will be like, oh man, you weak dog, like, hey, oh man, get yourself in check or something like that or anything like that. And that, and for certain people that gets drilled into their heads, and it just gets worse for in a lot of situations. It's just like that one video I'm pretty sure y'all saw where there was an Indian family, and then the guy's dad said, hey, boys don't cry, and men don't cry, and he kept getting told that as he got older. And then like at the end, he was making a woman cry, and he was crying still, but he was just like just whole mean towards her and stuff like that. And it kind of doesn't allow us to express our emotions in certain ways as we should. We should be expressing our emotions. Like we don't really know how. Some people don't really know how to express their emotions. So it's usually expressed out through anger.
Yeah, I think I don't know how often it's being taught from my parents to show emotions. Like my mom, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It doesn't get taught. That's the thing.
So it's like my mom, she wasn't very she wasn't emotional. You'll think it like a mother's nature would be nurturing and loving and caring. Like she did love and care about me, but it wasn't like the energy that she put out wasn't like emotional. So I never was taught to show emotion. Right. You know what I'm saying? So my mom was just hardcore. She's just rough and tough, and she's a gangster for all I'm concerned. But it's like so it's just like, I mean, I just never learned. Like, so I think that kind of takes away as an adult, I had to learn, like, okay, like I have emotions and I have to express them some kind of way if I was showing anger, because I was a very, very angry teenager. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I mean, most teenage men, yeah, we fairly pissed off. Like we mad at the world. Like, yeah. And it's because we get the cards we get dealt are not really good cards.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the teachings that we get taught is not really good at all either. So like everything, women get to express their emotions any way they want. Like, and they get to express their emotions to like some outrageous stuff and get by. But if we do the same thing, you know, we get thrown in jail. Like it's and there you go. So like it's just like that one video on the show The Real, when you know it gets confusing. It gets very confusing for men to figure out if we're supposed to show our emotions or we're not supposed to, because I remember me and Alex was watching this video on this. It was a show The Real, and they were talking about like how they like to have their men like be very vulnerable and exposed and everything. But if her man cries over an ex that dies, he's got to go. And it's just like,
there are some men that's in relationships where if they were to cry in front of their girlfriend, there's some toxic women who be like, oh, you, for lack of a better term, you're a bitch or you're a pussy, and it's like you setting people back, you setting that man back emotionally, but then you want him to cater to you and love on you and nurture you. So how are you gonna like?
So the thing is what I as I come to realize is that some women, I guess some people, I don't know, I'm just gonna say women, fetishize men's emotions. So it's like, you know, us being vulnerable and stuff, like they fetishize it. Like they're like, oh my God, he's crying for me. Oh yes, he's crying. And I'm just like, oh, like, I'm like, yo, this is not the moment for this. Like I just lost like somebody important. Why are you saying like you're crying for you? No, I'm crying because I lost somebody that's important. Yeah. I was like, you're crying for me. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. And it's like, yo, stop. You're doing too much.
But I think also because that stigma exists, I think it maybe is probably shocking for some women to see a man actually cry and break down in front of them or show any type of raw emotion like that.
Yeah, but I get that, but it's like, bro, come on now.
Alex.
Hello there, sir.
Hello.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, what? Finish up.
No. I'm ready. Go ahead.
I think the biggest point to make about it, especially within our community, overall, but specific to us, is that there's a small amount of emotions we're allowed to express and be okay society-wise. And there's a large amount of emotions that we are not allowed to express because of the feedback we would get from either people in our society, the opposite sex, or just people around us in general. So like, for example, within our culture in general, anger is probably the number one emotion that seems okay to express because we happen to see it so often, whether it's in relationships, at work, job, the gym, sports, anything like that. It's okay to express anger there. Stonewalling, like Kenny was saying earlier, is something that's pretty much common. Being boisterous or being proud of oneself, those emotions are okay. But then anything like a guy being extremely happy about something, people will look at him very strange or weird. Someone being joyous about something, someone being surprised something happened, a male being surprised about that, a male expressing fear or being scared of something or being horrified on something can be perceived negatively. Loneliness, if a man was ever to say, hey, like I'm feeling lonely, or hey, can like I, participate in some company or anything like that, that is seen negatively in our community as well. Being nervous, the grieving process, losing a loved one. There are all of these different emotions that everyone else without the bat of an eye is able to express and still be okay in society's eyes. But the moment we are to do any of that, we're seen in a totally different light. And that's the biggest issue with it. To piggyback what you were saying earlier about fetishizing men's emotions. I mean, even think about apparel that has been created for that. Like you've seen men's tears cups created. But like imagine if there was a cup that men created that said women's tears. Or like women's sorrows, women's griefs. That wouldn't be okay.
Yeah,
but yet we have all of these apparels about men because men are stuck in this two-way fault where you lose either way. The opposite sex says, hey, it's okay to express your emotions, be in touch with your emotions, things like that. But the moment it happens, they perceive them as weak or incapable of leadership if they do that, because now they cannot keep themselves together. So they're too emotional if they express almost any type of emotion. And the thing is, there isn't really like a standpoint on what is too much emotion or what's not too much emotion. Like a person shedding a tear to some people could be like, oh, that's hard. He shed that one tear. Or to some people, be like, he's crying. Or is someone crying for 5 or 10 minutes to get himself together? Oh, he's weak. He's incapable of leading. Look at what he did. He cried in the corner by himself to get himself together. Or someone grieving the loss of somebody. There's no specific time frame of that. But someone who's grieving for like months may be considered weak or incapable of.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot to go in with it in the men's perspective of it versus the women's perspective of it within our community, because they're afforded society-wise a wider range of emotional expression in comparison to what we are.
I think even though it seems like in today's society it's more I'm trying to find the word, it's more acceptable for men to be emotional or to see a man cry, but I think at the same time it's still pressure there for men to not show. Hello.
Yeah, he wanted to come in.
So, but yeah, I think it's still pressure for men to not show emotion, because it's even to the point where, like, if I'm at work, right? Because me and my friend at work was talking about it. Like, I don't know if y'all listen to Kid Cudi, but Kid Cudi his music can touch you in an emotional way. Like, you just, sometimes certain songs you listen to, I can't listen to while I'm at work because I feel like I'm going to break down and cry, and I can't cry while I'm slinging bags. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, or if I'm in the break room, I'm just listening and a certain song come on, I can't break down the break room. Like, people going to look at me like, yo, what the hell? Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So there's still that pressure. Like, you still gotta like check your emotions in certain situations or certain things. But to go off what you said, Alex, do you think, well, I know you think this, so being overly emotional, what's over emotional?
All right, I'll give you an example, right? So just to give this like a good postmark date, depending on when you listen to this. So within a week or two ago, I think it was within a week, Sora from Kingdom Hearts got announced to be in Smash Ultimate, right? And that trailer was absolutely phenomenal. So I watched the trailer at work, because I'm not trying to really do too. Anyway, so I watched the trailer at work at my desk, and I'm sitting here watching, and it is the most beautiful trailer I've seen in such a long time. So beautiful. I shed a tear at my desk.
Did you?
I might have shed 2 or 3.
Did you cry in the car too? Or?
I cried. No, I don't care. It's my desk. You can give me a minute to wait, or like, it's all right. So I shed a couple of tears at my desk. So I was like, wow, like, look how far we've come from me playing Kingdom Hearts 1, from me playing my first Final Fantasy at age like 9 or 10, and going all the way through the line, being introduced to Sora like late in high school, all the way to now in my 30s. And I'm like, he made it. Like, he's here. He is shaking hands with Mickey Mouse, like not Mickey, Mickey that one, but he's shaking hands with Mario. I mean, Mickey Mouse the first one, but in this one, I'm saying Mario. Like, that is like a testament if you made it. If you made it to Smash, like come on, where else do you go after that? Like, even Marvel versus Capcom, like, we're talking about like the ultimate mashup / cross up, and Sora did it. Sora made it, and it's just amazing to see that. So I shed some tears. Now the question is, how emotional? Now, if I can't finish my work shift because I saw Sora shaking hands with Mario, I think that's a problem. So I think the formula of it though is length of time and the severity of the event. I think there's some formula to be made with that. So, for example, something like that could have you emotional for maybe a couple minutes, maybe a couple hours, right? Anything longer than a few hours for that, I might just be like, we might have to examine some things here in this person's life. Like, how long should you be emotional that one of your favorite characters made it to another game, right? Like, can you still be happy a month later? Sure. Should you be crying a month later, though? I don't think you should be crying.
I mean, unless you watched it again a month later and it still hit, because like, okay, well, Avengers Endgame,
if you rewatch it again and that same feeling happens, sure, but I'm saying, are you crying for a month straight?
No, not from the initial viewing of it. and you're still crying a month later, you have something. You need to go to therapy.
You need to go therapy.
You think he got there?
No, like I mean, all jokes aside, like you need to go to therapy because there's something triggering elongated emotion.
All right, hold on. Let me toss you a scenario then, right? All right. Let's say you have some ritual each year. This isn't me, but let's say you have some ritual each year where you watch like The Notebook or you watch like Titanic, right? And every time you finish watching it, you're overcome with emotions and you start bawling out in tears after you finish watching it.
I'm like that. I'm not okay. First of all, Avengers,
like
I was saying earlier, with Avengers Endgame, when the portal scene, I get my eyes tear up because the first time it's like when I first saw it, I was like, this is a very powerful scene right here, right?
Yeah, definitely.
T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. He's coming through the portal, and I'm just like, like, you know what I'm saying? So
happiness, joy, surprise.
Yeah. So
it's all the emotions.
Right. So even though you know it's coming.
Yeah.
But it's just to see it happen. And so every time I see that particular scene in general, all the way up until they start charging into battle, like I get emotional. I start getting teary eyes. Like even in the theater, I'm like, I can't cry. You know, nobody can see me, right? These tears gonna come down and nobody gonna see me. But
I can't let it coming down my eye, but I gotta make the song cry.
but yeah, so each time I see that scene, I do get a bit emotional, right? Now, I can talk about how emotional I got the next month, but to actually be in that state of emotion for the next month, no, I can't. Yeah. Things like Titanic, Notebook. I never even seen a Notebook, first of all. Titanic, that movie was just kind of like,
that movie was such a drag, bro. By the time I got to that movie, I was like, bro, I just want to go.
What, the Notebook or Titanic?
I watched Titanic when it was on VHS, and I bawled my eyes out all night. It was the saddest movie I had ever seen as a kid.
I saw it at theater, so I was like, bro, I was go.
Theaters, I can't really imagine at theaters. Jesus, your butt print's probably still in that seat. Dang.
But with the Titanic, I never. The movie's kind of like stupid to me. Like, why are y'all out by icebergs anyway? Like, what? It just didn't make sense to me. Like, why?
Well, no. Okay, so
we're not explaining Titanic.
We're not going. I'm just saying, like,
I know, but
I couldn't connect emotionally because that didn't make sense to me. Like, it's just because I saw when that movie came out, like 90s. So I mean, I'm like a kid. I'm like, oh, that's stupid. I don't even like water anyway. I don't even like boats. So why would I be out there? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I couldn't connect
something about boats in my past. You know, it's just I can't do it.
So I couldn't connect emotionally with that as far as your example. But if it's like a Marvel movie and I see a favorite character, I'm going to get emotional. But you're not gonna know. I'm gonna sit here and just be stone faced, just But deep down inside,
it didn't go to your closet.
Oh my god! But some people though would say, like, because you got emotional over a character that's not real, that's too much.
Well, I mean, F them. I don't care.
I mean, I'm just saying in general, just conversation.
And I understand that. I can understand that because I think people get emotional because I don't know. Just think of anything that's not fictional character related. I just feel like something like, why are you that upset about it? Like, some people don't get emotional when they listen to music. I'm sure there's somebody out there, I don't know who, but some people may not listen or may listen to Kid Cudi and then not get emotional, listen to a song because you may not be able to relate. So I think as far as overly emotional, I think is there, like, the question I have now is, I know you said at one point that women do not like an overly emotional man. Can you dive deeper?
Sure. So the bigger part of it is someone who cannot keep his emotions in check. So someone who may fall prey of just being so emotional that they don't know where to go or what to do next because they're so overthrown into this emotion. Or someone who may express their emotions way too often for someone.
Violently. Like, I seen a meme that said, like, it was a tweet, I guess, but it was saying no woman wants, if you punch a hole in a wall or if you do anything some other violent things, no woman wants to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, there's some people out there, well, there's always the some argument and things like that of just like who enjoy that sort of like toxic relationship between it. But I'd say any extreme expressions, like for anger, that could be an extreme expression. Like excitement, like you just can't sit still. Like let's say you're like in a movie theater, right? And you're just sitting here like super giddy in your seat, and you start touching the people, like, oh my god, you see that? You start shaking her sheet. Like, come on, man, that's a bit much. Like all the time,
hands will be thrown
all the time. Like I get it, sir. Like you said, Sir Mo is half right, but I'm sure if you watched in the movie theater, you weren't like running up to the top line, be like, yo, you see that? Like
no,
you were
pointing
at the screen.
Yeah, no. I'm too cool for that. Like I'm just sitting there, just like.
You too cool for that?
Yeah, I'm too cool to be acting. I'm not even like, I don't show much excitement anyway. So
yeah, but that's the point I'm making here, though, because once again, if we show too much excitement, society looks at like they put it to you like this: girls' night out. If you've ever seen there things like that, walk down the street, loud, boisterous, probably don't have their shoes on, just you can hear them from streets away, right?
Yeah,
guys don't act that like that way. They aren't that loud. They aren't that excited when someone's like, hey, you know what we should do? And then all the girls like, oh. Like guys don't act in that fashion. But even if they did, what you are I'm just saying, and like they say something so common, like oh, have you seen it? No, but just, girl, it made me cry so much. And they're like all more ready to bawl into tears, or all more overcome by like sadness or something like that. I'm just using this as a stereotypical example. I get it, and everyone cries in the movie, but whatever. I'm just using it as an example. They're like overcome with that kind of emotion, and then they're allowed to express it in that light. For guys, it'd be like the equivalent might be the stereotypical would be like, hey man, you see that Cowboys game the other night?
Right. I was just thinking that. Like,
and then they just like nod and smile. And
I was just thinking that it's only that much emotion, over emotion is acceptable in sports.
In sports, though, it is though. Right. Yeah.
Like if it get like I've seen videos of people like smash their TVs or supposedly smash their TVs because the team lost.
Or
like,
throw them out, burn their stuff. Like men will express in sports the most ludicrous ways ever.
When LeBron, but
not if someone dies.
When LeBron left Cleveland the first time, the whole city of Cleveland lost their minds and they burnt jerseys and just went complete ape shit because one man left your
that city. They don't even know that they
don't even know personally.
Probably never seen in real life. Well, some of them, I mean, sports fans are pretty out there, but like that's the one place, and maybe that's why people act so men in general, because I don't see women do. I mean, sometimes but it's mainly men that act in the most ridiculous lights in sports in general, like across the world, like not even just here. They will burn things. They will break. They will loot. They will pillage.
Kenny can confirm this. Soccer or football overseas. I've heard stories where they got to sit fans on the opposing team on the other side of the stadium because they will murder each other.
They have to sit them on the other side of the stadium, and when whatever team loses, they have to wait 10 to 20 minutes for that team to get the fuck out of the city, bro.
It's bad. Like, even if you wear the wrong jersey in the wrong home city.
So the funny thing is, like in other countries, you won't see a woman in a sport thing because they will get their ass beat. I'm just be honest. They will get their ass beat because those men there, ruthless, bro. Like no men or children. It's just all dudes, men.
But take that same emotion and have a man like display that over like a romantic comedy.
A rom-com?
Yeah, then you're gonna look at them like, yo, like
what's wrong with you? Yeah,
like why are you acting like a hoe?
In our growth from childhood to now, we've expressed that if it's for sports, it's okay. And society across the board has said, okay.
Yeah, but if agree
it's
like
anything else, someone died in your family, like someone got into an accident, like you found out you have cancer, like your legs are broken, everyone's just like, all right, man, just walk it off.
Yeah, like
the funny thing is when I was watching what's the dude's name? Mediocre something. mediocre
MTR.
story. Yeah, MTR, and he didn't even break down when he found out he had like cancer and whatnot and everything like that. I'm like, bro, it's if you cry, dog. It's good. You got cancer. Like, but he just didn't, and I'm just like, yeah, it's gotten to that point where it's just.
I think he said he did beforehand, but he probably on camera.
Yeah, on camera he just didn't, and I'm just like, I mean, if you want to, then go ahead. Nobody gonna. Right, us as men, we understand. Women on the other hand, no, like.
They make fun of you, bro. That's so sad.
Make fun, and this is like it's like, and I ain't even gonna get into it, bro.
remember
his emotions are clearing.
I ain't even
remember, Alex,
bro.
You told me about the a guy at your job. You handed him your card for your business, and he just kind of like,
Oh
yeah. So
he was interested in it, right? But I was telling Dante of like the typical thug response of like you never can go too far away from almost any emotion. So he just wound up going, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, my thanks, God. Yeah.
Thanks, bro. That's it. That's all it ever is.
Dog.
It's never too loud.
Thanks,
it's
dog.
always kind of real low. You gotta be like, bro, what you say? Thanks, dog. What did you? It's never an in between. It's always too low or too loud. Like there's no in betweens.
Even though in the movie, what's that movie? Menace to Society. I don't know if y'all seen that, where dude got shot in the shoulder, right? So he was like, he got shot. He's in trauma, right? So afterwards, his friend made fun of him. Was like, man, you was crying like a little bitch, son, when you got shot. And he was like, nah, man, that ain't no. I was like, what? Like, why would you make fun of him for? I'm saying logically, I understand that's the type of environment they growing up in,
exactly,
or whatever.
Yeah.
But logically, the man got shot.
He got shot. Like, how much worse can it get before I'm allowed to express that? Like,
right? Like, do you have a certain time frame? Like 4 months from now, that's when you allowed.
I told you, it depends. Severity of whatever is causing the emotional grief, and then the time limit you're allowed to express it. That's it. They're like, all right, man, you've been crying about this for 3 months. All right, man, like, what are we trying to do about it? And I'll admit, I've been guilty of certain things like this with people when they express this one emotion for something that feels like way too long to express that one. Like, for example, like here in America, people love their pets. I have people who tell me pet stories and almost cry, and their pet's been dead for like 4 to 5 years. And it's like, all right, I get it. Large portion of your life. Is there a time period where we can move on so that we don't have this same traumatic response? Or is this going to happen forever? And I think it's a conversation that's worth having. I'm not trying to tell people you're not allowed to cry. Like, I get it. Things happen in life. There are some things that people probably won't heal from. But are you working to heal from it? Or are people just okay with this?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of times, I think what needs to change is that just accept that black men or men in general have emotions, and we need to express them, because we bottle them up inside.
Yeah,
we're gonna explode. It's gonna be.
I mean, that's what happens though, across the board.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not just with black men, but I'm saying like in general, if you keep your emotions in, you don't keep them in check. You hold them in. One thing could just like click you out, and then next thing you probably in prison somewhere.
Hadouken people across the
no, next thing you know, you went Super Saiyan 1 upside someone's head.
Yeah, and then it's like
right.
Expressing your emotions, it relieves stress. Like, that's why I'm always saying, like, you want to talk about it, like when I'm at work or dealing with people, they would they get upset. Now I said sarcastically, but there's a side of seriousness to it. Like, do you want to talk about it? Or they'll say, man, I can't believe this. And I'm like, what? They'll tell me. I say, well, how did that make you feel? Like, get it off your chest. Because I do honestly feel like talking will help you.
Talking helps a lot.
So much. Like, because like, especially, I'm not going to get into my job, but it's just, there's a lot of, it's just a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? People are just upset and it's angry and bitter. And I'm like, yo, you want to talk about it? Like, just come talk to me. I'm in this part of the airport or whatever. If you want to come talk to me, just come talk to me. So I think that should be more out there in the open. Like, people should just be more inviting. Hopefully that would happen. or just people just get comfortable with talking about their emotions. I don't know where that's at in society. Like if there's like a certain level that the general populace is at with talking about their emotions, but I think that will help tremendously. Well, especially in the Black community, just talk about what's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like people catch attitudes. You know, like I said, like a Cowboys lose. Oh my God. on social media, people are just mad. They pissed, right? And it's just like, let's talk about it. How did that make you feel? What happened? Was it the interception?
Don't know. Was it the first one or the second one?
Well, I mean, because I actually know today they actually won today. So
good day for them then.
Yeah, so they're positively emotional.
Now they're allowed to express their happiness, joy, surprise,
right,
and then maybe hurt, loneliness, grief.
Yeah, but I think once the Black community accepts emotions or expressing emotions as a positive thing, or any other community, that thing will be on the right path to love and happiness.
A better culture overall.
A
stronger culture, I'll say.
Yeah, but I feel like it's wishful thinking, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey man, why do you think we're doing this?
To spread awareness. So is there any other things you want to add, Kenny, Alex? Yeah, you do, or no? You
no, just it's okay to express emotion.
I'm so confused today.
My bad. I'm sorry. I was reading some again. It's okay to express emotion. It's 100% fine. Okay. If people don't think you should be expressing emotion, you probably shouldn't have that person in your life, honestly. But that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, if you cry, you're not a bitch.
Depending on how long you cry. That might make you
so if you see, you already know what? Let me not even going to dive down that rabbit hole.
No, I'm going back to the concept where Alex is saying like over a month over it.
But I say stuff. See, I have a habit of saying stuff sarcastically, but I be dead ass though. Like just because you cry, you're not a bitch, dude. Like it's all right. Let it out.
You let that shit out.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody make fun of you, like Kenny said, they don't need to be in your life.
Don't need to
I thought you meant to say someone make fun of you. Just cry in front of them, dog.
No. No. But yeah, so yeah, if you're crying, you're in your emotions, you're in your feelings about something, and then hopefully if you continue to have those same emotions or same feelings, seek therapy. I mean, therapy.
Yeah, go
therapy.
Go seek that.
Seek therapy for your mental health. Your mental health is key. As a Black man, we must save our mental health. I should get like a sponsorship or something, because I'm always talking about mental health somewhere.
You should not.
But subscribe, Spotify, Apple.
You didn't even ask Google. Me, bro. You just straight hopped over me.
Do you want? I thought, okay. Rewind that all back. I take it all back.
There we go.
Do you want to talk about it, Alex? How did that make you feel?
My closing statement. I'm so sick of you right now. No, I think a pretty good angle to look at is when you look at media in general and how emotions portrayed. Just because we're more of a blurred anime movies kind of type deal. One of the biggest emotional scenes ever is just looking at Super Saiyan 1 Goku transformation.
Oh man.
And what he went through emotionally to achieve that state. You know, it didn't have anything, or it might small bits, but it didn't really have anything to do with how much he lifted. It had nothing to do with his, him working at some random job. It had everything to do with the emotional state he was in. And that is really just like testament to how powerful every human's emotions are and how powerful they can be when utilized appropriately. And I think that's the biggest key in it, is understanding there are all of these different emotions that you can experience and express, and not to limit yourself to just 2 or 3.
That was a powerful closing remark, Alex.
Oh my God, you sound like some MLM like marketing sponsorship. Powerful statement to the congregation at hand. And they're gonna pass along the hats if everyone can just put in a couple,
But yeah, so I would like to thank everybody for tuning in to this episode. If you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on any streaming service, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox. We're now on Castbox. I figured it out right before this podcast episode, how to put on Castbox. So apparently that's a thing. If you got Castbox, go on there, listen to it, subscribe, comment. I believe that's it. And we're done.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to talk about it, Kenny, offline?
Huh?
Nothing.